Couple of weeks ago, I was at Toys R Us for Adults, aka Mr. DIY, and I stumbled upon this curious item. It's called the Ezra Touch It, and what this does is it sticks onto the back of your phone, and if you press the magnetic strip in the middle, bam, this hook pops up, and this hook will hook onto the air vents in your car, turning this into a phone holder. And because of the shape of that hook, if you were to rest this on a table, you get a pretty cool kickstand as well. And that got me thinking, if I could find something like that in Mr. DIY's mobile section, what else was out there? And let's say, hypothetically speaking, you were a man-child with an afternoon to kill and $100 in your wallet. What exactly could you find in Mr. DIY's mobile section for that $100? I am that man-child. Welcome to Mr. DIY here in Jaya Mall, PJ.
I think what I'm going to do is spread it out with cases, cables and whatever knickknacks you can find in between. We're going to keep the calculator up running just to see if we hit $100, and then we'll walk out of here with the stuff and then I'll review it at home.
Sounds like a plan, and with that, let's get started.
Oh, I get a basket. Yeah. Cases. I have an iPad at home and an iPhone. I think this will come in handy. It's a USB-C to Lightning. So right now we are 24.30, still have 70 plus bucks to go. Thought of getting this, but apparently charging your phone through the car isn't safe. The voltage is too unstable, so I like my phone rather not.
Does your car have an aux jack?
Aux jack? I think it does. Okay, we're at 33 bucks. Blast from the past. We are at the halfway point. The only case I can get is an iPhone 7 case because they obviously don't make any for the online view here. And we'll probably also get one for the XS. Why are all the 10S ones locked? What are 10S owners doing that we don't know? Why do they look so bad? Sounds... Comes with a remote, so I should be able to control the camera wirelessly. For us pro gamers out there, hit our 100 ringgit mark. Let's get this stuff back to the house.
Now, before we begin, I just want to stress out that I'm in no way sponsored by or associated with Mr. DIY. I'm just a fan. So, for our first item, we have one of these waterproof cases. So, the idea is you put your phone in here, it sort of zip locks the bag, and you can bring it into the swimming pool, the ocean, and it keeps your phone safe. And for some of these, they claim to be able to allow you to use your phone through the silicone coating. But I've always been a bit suspicious of these because for everything they advertise, it feels a bit flimsy and cheap, and you wouldn't want to sacrifice your $1,000 phone in one of these. But then again, not everyone has a second phone to test this out on, so let's do that. This is my Xiaomi Mi A1, and back in 2018, this was my daily driver, but in early 2019, I kind of dropped it. And as you can see, it's left the screen shattered and cracked. It still works, but it's not usable for daily use. Perfect for our kind of experiment.
As we can see, this product was initially meant for an iPhone, but it'll work just fine with any other phone that can fit inside. So we take out the bag and you can see this curious little package that came along with it. To open up the seal, we first pull open these pull tabs, and then we pry open the seal. And as we can see, these seals are quite sturdy, so no water should be able to get in. Taking out the artwork and we're done. So it turns out that little package was a black lanyard string, which I assume helps you carry around this bag, around the beach or around the river. Good thinking there. Next, we put in the Mi A1 into the bag, and as you can see, it just barely fits inside. And then we make sure the pull tabs are aligned and clamped shut, and voila, we have a waterproof phone. And as you can see, it still works even with the bag on, so that's useful. To test this out, I decided to use a bucket of water, and as you can see, it's just plain water, but it should help us test out if this bag is truly watertight. And now comes the nerve-wracking part, potentially sacrificing my old phone. Well, here goes nothing. And as we can see, so far so good, but it doesn't seem like the touchscreen is working. Taking out the phone, we can see that above water the touchscreen works just fine. It's only when it's underwater that the touchscreen stops working. I assume that the water somehow messes with the touch responsiveness. But otherwise, everything seems to be going great. No water seems to be coming in, no air bubbles. So I think we are in the green here. So I'm just gonna wipe off all the excess water and check on the phone. Pull open the pull tabs, pry open the seal, and clear up any excess water. And it looks like the Mi A1 is alive. There's some water droplets on the case, but I assume this was from the seal. And as you can see, the phone is working just fine. Nice.
So for our next item, we have something really small, which is this. It is a USB-C powered fan, and the idea is you take this out, you plug it into your phone, and it spins, keeping you cool. And I've always wondered about this because it feels like something really small and it wouldn't give you much benefit in return, but since we already have it, let's test it out. For this test, we have the Mi A1 again, which supports USB-C. We just plug it in and it should work. And it does. It's actually kind of nice. Not too strong, it's cooling, and I had doubts about the build quality, but it's not jiggling about, it's firm in place. But having actually used it now, I'm faced with a question: how useful is this on a phone? Because I feel like using this on a phone sort of takes away the ability for you to use the phone properly. Nah, I don't think this is gonna work. So I'm now curious, does this work with anything USB-C powered? Let's test that out. So I have my Aoki power bank here, and it supports USB-C output. So it should work if I plug this in. And it does. I feel like in day-to-day, this would make more sense than plugging it into your phone, because you are able to use your phone freely now and you're not going to carry around your power bank and use it as much as a phone. But thinking about it now, this actually makes more sense because the amount of time the fan can spin depends on how much of battery you have, and these power banks average out at 10,000 mAh nowadays, whereas phones average around 4,000. So in theory, you could keep this running longer on a power bank than you can on a phone. This makes even more sense because what happens if you plug this into your phone? That's right, you lose your USB port and you can't use it for charging or anything else. But on a multi-port power bank like this, you could plug this in and then run a cable through your phone so you could keep yourself cool and charge your device at the same time. Anything USB-C powered should be able to power this. Be right back. So this is my iPad Pro and it is the last USB-C powered item I own. So let's see if it works. Hey, it works! Okay, cool. So yeah, anything USB-C powered should work for this. Thinking about it, our Malaysian weather really demands something like this because it is actually quite cooling. So yeah, good purchase. Right, that's gonna do it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 and maybe a part 3. I'm not too sure because there's a lot of unedited footage left and I didn't feel like cramming everything into one single video on my first try. It would be better to space it out into multiple parts for you guys as well. And until part 2 is out, I hope you guys enjoyed part 1. Like, comment, subscribe, share, let me know what you thought, and until part 2 is out, stay tuned. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to my cousin Subhash for helping me record all the bits you saw at Mr. DIY and also for sponsoring the stuff we bought. We couldn't have done this video without him. Also wanted to give a huge shout out to my friend Chris, otherwise known as Reitkin, for letting me use his music in my videos. Links to his newly released EP will be in the description. Check it out, it's really good. Take care.